Hi there, I'm Keith Griggs, Chartered Accountant, and tonight we're diving deep into a topic that affects millions of hard-working people all across the country, tax-deductible expenses. Now let's cut through the noise and get straight to the facts because, buckle up folks, we've got a lot to cover. You know, when I first started looking into this issue, I was shocked. Shocked at the complexity, shocked at the misinformation, and shocked at how little guidance there is out there for ordinary people just trying to make an honest living. So tonight, we're going to break it all down, no holds barred. So let's start with the basics. The wholly and exclusively rule. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. It's anything but. HMRC wants every expense you claim to be entirely for your business. No ifs, no buts. But let's be real, in today's world where our work and personal lives are more intertwined than ever, is that even possible? So take this scenario, you buy a laptop. You use it mostly for work, but occasionally you might check your personal email or browse the news. According to HMRC, you can only claim a percentage of that cost. It's a grey area that's left many individuals scratching their heads. Now let's talk about some of the expenses that are more straightforward. Advertising costs, stationery, software. These are generally safe bets, but even here you need to be careful. One wrong move and you could find yourself in hot water with the taxman. For instance, let's say you're a graphic designer. You buy a new high-end computer and the latest design software. Clearly business expenses, right? But what if you also use that computer to play games in your downtime? Suddenly we're back in that grey area. It's a minefield out there, folks. But here's where it gets really interesting. Home office expenses. With more people working from home than ever before, this has become a hot button issue. HMRC says you can claim £6 a week without receipts. £6? In central London, that might cover your electricity for an hour. Is this really fair for the hard-working people keeping our economy afloat? So let's break this down further. Say you're using a spare room as your office. You could potentially claim a portion of your rent or mortgage interest, council tax, utilities, and even your home insurance. But here's the catch. You need to calculate exactly what percentage of your home is used for business. And heaven forbid you use that room for anything else, even occasionally. HMRC might just come knocking. And don't even get me started on vehicle expenses. The rules here are so convoluted you'll need a PhD in maths to figure them out. Mileage logs, fuel receipts, depreciation, it's enough to make your head spin. So here's a real world example. Let's say you're a freelance photographer. You drive to a client's wedding, then to another location for a family portrait session. Clearly, these are business trips, but what if you stop at the supermarket on your way home? Suddenly, that return journey isn't claimable. It's these kinds of nitpicky rules that are driving people up the wall. But perhaps the most baffling rule of all is around clothing. Picture this, you're a consultant meeting with high-profile clients. You buy a smart suit specifically for these meetings. Can you claim it as a business expense? Nope. HMRC says it's not allowed because it preserves your modesty. Yes, they're their exact words. I kid you not, folks. That's the actual reasoning. Now, I'm all for following rules and paying our fair share. But when the rules become so complex that they're almost impossible to follow, we have to ask, is this system really working? So let's talk about some other expenses that might surprise you. Did you know that your accountancy fees are tax deductible? That's right. The cost of hiring someone to navigate this labyrinth of rules is itself an allowable expense. It's almost as if HMRC is admitting that their system is too complex for the average person to understand. And here's another head scratcher, business entertainment. If you take a potential client out for a fancy dinner, hoping to seal the deal, you might think that's a clear business expense. But you'll be wrong. While you can pay for it through your business account, It's not tax deductible. Yet bizarrely, staff entertainment is allowable up to £150 per head per year. Who makes up these rules? Now let's not forget about making tax digital. They say it's to make things easier, but for many small business owners it's just another hurdle to jump over. From now on, if your business income is over £10,000 per annum, you'll need to use special software to keep your records and send updates to HMRC. They call it modernisation. Some might call it increased surveillance. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are some expenses that HMRC is surprisingly lenient on. Professional subscriptions, for instance, if you're a member of a professional body related to your work. That subscription is tax deductible. The same goes for trade publications or journals. And here's an interesting one. Training costs. You can claim for courses that update your existing skills, but if you're learning something entirely new, sorry, that's not allowed. It's as if HMRC is saying, stay in your lane. Don't try to expand your horizons. Is that really the message we want to send to our entrepreneurs? Capital allowances. This is the system for claiming tax relief on big purchases like machinery or vehicles. The rules here are complex, but get this. There's something called the annual investment allowance that lets you deduct the full value of an item from your profits before tax. As of now, the AIA limit is £1 million. That's right, million with an M. But how many small businesses are making £1 million investments? It feels like a system designed for big corporations, not your average self-employed person. So what can you do in the face of all this complexity? First, arm yourself with knowledge. Understand what you can claim and what you can't. Keep meticulous records, and yes, that means every single receipt. Set up a separate business bank account if you haven't already. It might seem like overkill, but trust me, it'll save you headaches down the line. And don't be afraid to seek professional help. Sometimes, and most often, hiring an accountant can save you money in the long run. They can navigate these complex rules, ensure you're claiming everything you're entitled to, and keep you on the right side of HMRC. Remember, you're not just a number on a tax return, you're a vital part of this country's economy. You deserve clarity, fairness, and respect. The self-employed are the risk takers, the innovators, the backbone of British business. You shouldn't need a law degree to understand your tax obligations. Now, I want to hear from you. If you're self-employed or a company owner, what's been your experience with claiming expenses? Have you run into any roadblocks? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going, because it's only by speaking up that we can hope to see change. And if you need more personalised advice, or just get on a call and explore how I could possibly help you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me personally via the chat box on redboxfinancial.com, because when it comes to your finances, you shouldn't have to go it alone. In the meantime, keep those receipts, stay informed about the rules, and don't be afraid to claim what you're entitled to. You've earned it. That's all for now. I'm Keith Griggs, and this has been Straight Talk on tax deductible expenses. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay in business. Goodbye and good luck out there in the financial jungle.